Good morning. Um, it's still dark out here in Berlin at 7 in the morning. I have to get this stream over with early today because I have a lot going on later. So let's get right into it. I'm doing track 20 and 21 of language transfer, and then I'm going to continue with the video that I started yesterday.
We mentioned that with future context, we can talk about the future using the present. For example, we had tomorrow, which was
Mañana.
mañana. Good. We had later or more late, which was
Más tarde.
más tarde. We had tonight or this night.
Esta noche.
Esta noche. Good. Another one is pronto. Pronto. What do you think pronto means?
Now.
Immediately.
Ahora was now, no?
Soon.
Soon. Yeah, you hear in English sometimes, get here pronto. No? It's get here soon. So pronto is also future context. What was the verb to see or to view?
Ver.
He sees?
Ve.
Good. They?
Ven.
You informal?
Ves.
We?
Vemos.
Very good. The I version is a tiny bit irregular. It's veo. So you have VEO. So it's not vo as it should be or bo. It was too short. It became veo. VEO. Veo or veo. How would you say, I'm seeing her later? I'm seeing her later.
La veo más tarde.
Veo ella más tarde.
That means I see she later.
It's not la.
It is?
Oh, so it's la veo.
La veo. Good.
Yes. La veo más tarde.
La veo más tarde. I'm seeing her tonight.
La veo
esta noche.
Good. La veo esta noche. We are seeing her soon. We are
La venemos pronto.
seeing her soon.
La venemos pronto.
What is to see?
Oh, sorry, it should be vemos.
Yes.
Yes.
So no guessing. No
La vemos pronto.
no guessing at all. It's the only rule. Huh?
La vemos pronto.
Good. La vemos pronto. What if we say we will see them soon, but with this them, we mean a female group. We're
Las vemos pronto.
seeing them soon.
Las vemos pronto.
Good. Las vemos pronto. He is seeing them soon. And this them, they are still females. He is seeing them
Las
soon.
ve pronto.
Las ve pronto.
Good. And you informal?
Las ves pronto.
La ves pronto.
Them soon.
Las ves
You're seeing
pronto.
them.
Las ves pronto.
Good. Now make it a question. Are you seeing them soon? The
Las
female
ves
them.
pronto.
Las ves pronto.
Las ves pronto? Aren't you seeing them soon?
No las ves pronto.
No las ves pronto? Why aren't you seeing them soon?
¿Por qué no las ves pronto?
¿Por qué no las ves pronto?
Good. ¿Por qué no las ves pronto? Very good. So we saw that with future context, we don't need the future. If we don't have future context, we can still use the present to talk about the future using this I go or I'm going, which is present, but we can use it to talk about the future in Spanish as we do in English. I'm going to see her. We're talking about the future. We're going to see her. So let's practice that. How would you say we are going to see her?
Vamos a verla.
Vamos a ver la.
Are you going to see him soon? Speaking informally, are you going?
Vas a verla. Vas a verlo pronto. Vas a verlo pronto.
To see him soon? So you can't work with ir, which is to go. You should probably work with vamos and work
Vas.
backwards.
Vas.
Good.
Vas a verlo pronto.
Good. Vas a verlo pronto. The word for us is nos. Nos.
Nos.
So how would you say, are you going to see us soon? Are you going to see us soon? And we're still speaking informally.
Are you going to see us? Nos verlos pronto?
Vas a vernos
Nos vas. ¿Vas a vernos pronto? ¿Nos vas a ver pronto?
pronto.
Very good. Vas a vernos pronto. Where else could that nos go?
Nos vas.
At the beginning.
Before the changed verb.
Nos vas a ver pronto.
Very good.
Nos vas a ver
Nos
pronto.
vas a ver pronto. Aren't you going to see us soon?
No vas a ver pronto. Nos pronto.
Good. No vas a vernos pronto or no nos
¿No nos vas a ver pronto?
vas a ver pronto. Either way. Why aren't you going to see us soon?
¿Por qué no nos vas a ver pronto?
¿Por qué no vas a vernos pronto?
Good. So, we've seen that we can use the present to talk about the future. Using going to, or also using future context. Word like tomorrow, next week. Next week is the week that comes. And the week is la semana. La semana. How do you say the week that comes?
La semana que viene.
So, what is the word for that? Which is the same as
Que.
what?
Que.
Que. La semana que, the week that, the week which, comes. And here we mean the week comes. So it's it comes. So what is it comes?
Viene.
Viene. Viene.
Good. So next week is la semana que viene. The week that comes. La semana que viene. So you could say, let's speak. And to say let's speak, we know from vamos, you can just use the we form. So to speak is
Hablar.
Hablar.
hablar. We speak.
Hablamos.
Hablamos.
Let's speak next week. Let's
Vamos a... Hablamos la semana que viene.
speak the week that comes.
Hablamos la semana que... And now I've forgotten come.
It's okay.
Viene.
Okay, if we forgot it, we need to find it again. That's not any problem. Every time we do find it, we strengthen that process. And that's what we need. Not to remember the word. The process we need to strengthen. I want you to know how to find to come, and then to go from there. It comes. Take your time to find it comes.
Bene.
It would be bene, but
Viene.
viene. Let's
Viene.
speak the coming week.
Hablamos la semana
que-
que viene.
At the moment you have
Que
the
viene.
whole sentence in your mind and you want to translate it. Now this process works when you're memorizing. But we're not memorizing. We're doing something else. We're building. So we must reduce it down to the smallest piece we could possibly think about. Think about that piece, get it out, then forget it. So the first bit is we speak, let's speak.
Hablamos.
The week,
La semana
La semana
which or that
que
comes.
que... Bene. Viene.
viene.
Viene. Good.
Viene.
Hablamos la semana que viene. What was to
Hablamos
see?
La
Or to
semana
view?
que viene. Ver.
Ver.
Ver. What is we see?
Vemos.
Vemos. If you want to
Vemos.
say we see each other, you say we see us.
Nos.
Nos can mean
Vemos.
us, ourselves, each other, can mean all of that. Nos. So how do you
Nos
say we
vemos.
see ourselves?
Nos vemos.
Nos vemos.
Nos vemos. This is a way of saying goodbye in Spanish. Nos vemos. We see each other. Now the future context here is the fact that you're saying goodbye. But we're using present because we know when we say nos vemos, we don't mean we're seeing each other right now. We mean we will see each other again. We're not even mentioning that future context, but it's working. It's allowing us to use the present there. Nos vemos.
Nos
Ciao.
vemos.
Or you might want to say, we will see each other next week. How would you say
Nos
that?
vemos.
So piece by piece. We see each other. I
Nos vemos la semana que viene.
want all of your mental energy on that and not thinking yet about next week, how you will say that. What you're worried about right now in this moment is how you're going to say, we see ourselves. And even before that, just we see.
So it's vemos,
Mhm.
and it's nos vemos.
Good. The week that comes.
La
So the week.
semana que viene.
La semana que viene.
Good. Nos vemos la semana que viene. So you see, it's not important to remember viene. We don't want to remember viene. This is useless. In fact, if we memorize viene, we're just going to be glazing over the problem. What we want to internalize is the process of, oh, how do I find this? So we've seen that we can use the present to talk about the future using either ir a, to go to, voy a, vamos a, va a, or using some future context.
Okay, next track.
So we've seen how we can use the present to talk about the future in Spanish, using voy a, vamos a, or using some future context, pronto, soon, mañana, tomorrow, la semana que viene, the week that comes, next week. But we can also use the present in Spanish to talk about the past, just as we can in English. In English and in Spanish, we have three ways to talk about the past, or three main ways to talk about the past. We can say, for example, I ate. We can say, I was eating. And we can say, I have eaten. Now, when we say I have eaten, we're using I have, which is the present. And then eaten is like a version of the verb, which is kind of complicated in English. You say, I have eaten, I have gone, I have wanted. Wanted, eaten, gone, they're all very different. So that's kind of complicated in English, how to build that. But in Spanish, it's very simple. So we have I ate, I was eating, and I have eaten. This I have eaten is going to be the first past that we learn. And we're actually using the present. Now this have is not tener. Tener we use for possession, and we use with the combination of que to give this meaning of have to. Now the verb that we use for have in the sense of I have eaten, I have gone, in Spanish it's haber. Haber. H-A-B-E-R. And of course we have the
Haber.
silent H there in haber.
Haber.
Haber is to have in the sense of
Haber.
I have eaten. But haber is extremely irregular. There is no abo. It's extremely irregular. But there is a very easy way we can remember all of the versions of haber, even though it's very irregular. What are the two vowel sounds that we have inside of the verb haber?
A and e.
Good. We have a and e inside the word haber, and we're going to use that to help us remember the versions. Let's start with e. E, all by itself, means I have. It's spelled H-E. And of course, we have the silent H there from haber in e, H-E. I have. We actually saw already one other verb that forms its I version in this way. What was to know?
Se.
Saber.
Saber. And I know is
Se.
Se.
se. I have from haber is spelled H-E, just like se from saber is spelled S-E. They're the only two verbs that form their I version in this way, in this very irregular way. So you get se from saber and you get e from haber. Different from saber, all of the versions of haber are irregular. Now, I and we are connected. We can see how we is the plural of I, and then when I include you and I say we, it's like the plural of I. So I and we are connected. So just knowing that, if you had to guess what is we have,
Hemos.
knowing that I have is e, what do you think you would guess?
Es.
This works with nouns and adjectives. So it's a very good example of why, whilst we are avoiding grammatical terminology, we want to know what type of word we're dealing with, because different words behave in different ways. Nouns, words you can put the or a in front of, la semana, una semana, the week, a week. And adjectives, words that describe, that you can put is in front of, is red, is tall. These words use S for plural, but we've never seen the verb do that, have we? What does the verb use for we?
Amos,
Or,
hemos,
or,
imos.
and what do they have in common? Amos, hemos, imos.
The mos.
Good, okay. So, if is I have, H-E, how do you think it might be we have?
Hemos.
Hemos. Good. So from haber, you get and hemos. No? Now we don't want to memorize this. Like we said, we can think just this thought. Just the thought, what vowels do we have in haber? A and e. Oh, okay. E by itself is I. It's connected to we. And hemos. Now we go to the other vowel. A. H-A. All by itself. H-A. A means she has, it has, he has, you will have. Now I'm sure you can tell me the rest of them. What are the other versions? What is they have?
An.
An.
Good. So we start with this base of e and a, and we can remember that just by looking at the vowels that are inside aber, and then we can add on what we need. So we have e for I have, hemos for we have a, ha, for he, she, it, you have or has. You added an n, and what did you get?
An.
And what does that mean?
They.
They have.
Or?
You guys have.
Good.
Plural.
And how would you say you have informally?
Us.
Us.
Us. Good. And that should say. E, hemos, a, as, an. So you have two key vowel sounds, e and a. E, hemos for I and for I and the plural of I, which is we. And then you have a for he, she, it. An for they. Us for you informal. Now we need to learn how to make eaten, how to make gone, how to make wanted. If we want to say I have eaten, I have gone, I have wanted. This is very simple in Spanish. Our verbs will lose their ar, they will lose their final ar, and they will put ado on the end. So for example, we have to speak, which is hablar. If you want to build spoken, you take off that ar and you put on ado.
Hablado.
Hablado. Now we can speak about the past. Now we can say I have spoken. And we need to think about the two bits separately. I have spoken.
He hablado.
Is it he hablado.
Very good. He hablado. I haven't spoken. Where do you think the no is going to go? I haven't spoken.
In the beginning.
Good.
No he hablado.
Very good. No he hablado. I haven't spoken. We have spoken.
Hemos hablado.
Hemos hablado. He has spoken.
Ha hablado.
Ha hablado.
Good. She has spoken.
Ha hablado.
Ha hablado.
Good. They.
Han
Han
hablado.
hablado.
You informal.
Has hablado.
Has hablado.
Perfect. Well done. Now, this is actually more useful, this past, than what you might think it is, because this is used even more in Spanish than it is in English. So maybe you want the past I spoke, but you can use for now I have spoken. This have past is very popular and used much more than in English. So, how would you say anticipation?
Anticipación. Anticipar.
Anticipación.
Good. And to anticipate?
Anticipar.
Good. How would you say we have anticipated it? So,
Hemos anticipado.
there's a few things you have to think about. Think about them separately, then put them together. We have
Lo hemos anticipado.
anticipated it.
Hemos anticiparlo.
So to get
Anticipado.
anticipated, you take away the R and you put ado.
Yes. Hemos anticipado lo.
And where does that lo go? Because anticipado is not like...
It's changed now, so it's in
Yes.
the beginning.
Yes.
So lo hemos anticipado.
Good. Lo hemos anticipado. The word for, like in time, we have anticipated it for a long time, for example, is por. Por.
Por.
You might know por favor, which means please in Spanish, which means for a favor. Por favor, for a favor. So this por is also for in the sense of for periods of time. So if you want to say we have anticipated it for a long time, we will just say we have anticipated it for much time. Maybe there's some bits in there you think you don't know, but we will see.
Lo hemos anticipado por más tiempo. Lo hemos anticipado por más tiempo.
We'll see when we get to them. So the first bit is we have anticipated it.
Lo
Lo
hemos
hemos
anticipado
anticipado.
Good. For
por
a lot or much
mucho
Mucho.
tiempo.
time.
Mucho.
We saw briefly before that we have a word in English that we use for time that we only use with music. What was that word?
Tempo.
Tempo. And how did it change in Spanish?
Tiempo.
Tiempo.
Tiempo. Yes, the E split. So we have anticipated it for a long time.
Lo hemos
Lo hemos anticipado por mucho tiempo.
anticipado por mucho tiempo.
Good. Lo hemos anticipado por mucho tiempo. Very good. Maybe you want to ask somebody, did you celebrate? And you think, oh, I don't know did yet in Spanish. You can just say,
Has celebrado?
have you celebrated? And that's fine. Like I said, it's used even more in Spanish than in English. So some certain situations it might sound a little bit uncomfortable, the translation into English. But in Spanish most of the time it's going to be fine. So, have you celebrated? Let's speak
Has
informally.
celebrado?
Has celebración. Celebrar. Celebrado.
Good. Good.
So, has celebrado.
Good. Has celebrado? Haven't you celebrated?
No has
No
celebrado?
has celebrado.
Why haven't you celebrated?
¿Por qué no has
¿Por qué
celebrado?
no has celebrado?
Good. What was the word for where?
¿Dónde?
Donde. Where have you celebrated?
¿Dónde has celebrado?
¿Dónde has celebrado?
Good. Where have you celebrated it?
¿Dónde lo has celebrado?
¿Dónde lo has celebrado?
Good. So, our verbs, we take away the ar and we put ado and we get this version of the verb that we need after haber, which in English has many different forms. Like I said, you have gone, wanted, eaten, changes a lot. But in Spanish, we get rid of the ar and we put ado. We said that to take, and also sometimes to drink, is
Tomar.
tomar. Tomar.
Tomar.
So how would you say, I have taken?
He tomado.
He tomado.
He tomado. Good. We have taken?
Hemos tomado.
Hemos tomado.
Good. Has she taken it? Has she taken it?
Lo ha tomado.
Han lo tomado.
That's a guess. You're looking at me like it's a guess.
Lo ha tomado.
I want you to establish your own thought process of how you're going to find it. So what's the first bit you need to think about? Has she taken it?
Has she?
Good. What is that?
Okay, so it's e and hemos for
Okay.
I and we.
Yes.
So it's it's a. It's
Yes.
just a.
So, has she taken it?
Lo ha tomado.
Sometimes I'm going to build you up step by step. Sometimes I'm just going to give you the sentence and you need to deconstruct what thoughts you need to have first and to divide it up into various thoughts to get the sentence, resisting any temptation to guess or to say something that we're not sure of. You can be sure and be wrong. There's no problem there. But we want to think about it, dividing the sentence up into each individual thing we need to think about. First, she has. She has taken. Ha tomado. She has taken it. It
Lo
is
ha
lo.
tomado.
Where did I put the lo? Before the change verb. Lo ha tomado. So we would.
Okay. Wrapped up track 21. I'm gonna move on to the video. Something I did like about this track is that it clarified at least one part of the past tense in Spanish, but I'm still confused on the difference between using this haber, ado past versus using the preterite. I'm sure he's gonna get to that in the videos, but yeah, at least we have one clarified. So let me open up Photo Booth. Okay. Now I want to repeat the video from yesterday. I'm talking about how I learned how to code and what happened after. And I only have a little bit of the video done. I have some more to add. I wrote it down in English yesterday. So let's get started. ¿Cómo aprendí programar y qué pasó después? En la universidad estudié filosofía y física, no informática. No sabía programar en absoluto. Durante mis estudios trabajé en un laboratorio investigando la estructura de las proteínas con microscopios electrónicos. El laboratorio estaba lleno de biólogos, pero necesitaban un trabajo de programación. Acepté el reto. Yo acepté el reto. Pasé un año aprendiendo lo que necesitaba para terminar el proyecto. Okay, let me watch the one from yesterday. I don't know if I got
¿Cómo aprendí a programar y qué pasó después? En la universidad estudié filosofía y física, no informática. No sabía programar en absoluto. Durante mis estudios trabajé en un laboratorio investigando la estructura de las proteínas con microscopios electrónicos. El laboratorio estaba lleno de biólogos, pero necesitaban trabajos de programación. Yo acepté el reto. Pasé un año aprendiendo lo que necesitaba para terminar el proyecto.
Okay, so pretty much the same as yesterday. I don't think I made any mistakes. It wasn't smooth, but I got through it. Now I want to add a bit more to this this story in the process of completing the project. I learned how to code program. En el proceso de realización del proyecto aprendí a programar. en el proceso de realización en el proceso de realización del proyecto aprendí a programar. And then I want to say then I finished university. Pues I finished. So using something I learned in language transfer, I guess I can take terminar, which apparently means to finish, and say something like después he terminado la universidad. Okay, so yeah, this is this haber terminado. I see that I don't need to conjugate it for e. So, but I think this is a cleaner translation. Después de terminar university. Después de terminar la universidad, I got lucrative job offers to work as a software engineer. I received lucrative job offers. Al terminar. Okay, so they changed it to al terminar. At the end of university, recibí lucrativas ofertas de trabajo. De trabajo como ingeniero de software. Okay, al acabar, what is that? Acabar. I guess it's a synonym for terminar. Al acabar. Al acabar. Acabar.
Acabar.
Acabar. Al acabar la universidad, recibí lucrativas ofertas. Recibí lucrativas ofertas de trabajo como ingeniero de software. Okay, so al acabar. Al acabar la universidad, recibí lucrativas ofertas de trabajo como ingeniero de software. Okay, so en el proceso de en el proceso de relación del proyecto aprendí a programar. En el proceso de relación, en el proceso de relación del proyecto, aprendí a programar. Al acabar la universidad, recibí lucrativas ofertas de trabajo como ingeniero de software. Okay. I accepted an offer in New York. Acepté una oferta de trabajo a Nueva York. Una oferta de trabajo. Acepté una oferta de trabajo en Nueva York. So I moved there immediately. Así que me mudé allí inmediatamente. Okay. Acepté una oferta de trabajo en Nueva York. Así que mudé allí immediatamente. Immediatamente. So mudé, what is that? Mudar, to move. Acepté una oferta de trabajo en Nueva York. Así que mudé allí immediatamente. It's inmediatamente. 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 Ok. En el proceso de realización del proyecto aprendí a programar. Al acabar la universidad, recibí lucrativas ofertas de trabajo como ingeniero de software. Acepté una oferta de trabajo, así que acepté una oferta de trabajo en Nueva York, así que mudé allí inmediatamente. Okay. I worked at that company for almost 2 years. So, trabajé at that company. Trabajé en eso empresa por 2 años. Trabajé en esa empresa for almost 2 years. Casi. Trabajé en esa empresa durante casi 2 años. Trabajé en esa empresa durante casi 2 años. So you work during 2 years. I would have thought it would be like por for 4, but okay. So from the beginning, en el proceso de realización del proyecto aprendí a programar. Al acabar la universidad, recibí lucrativas ofertas de trabajo como ingeniero de software. Acepté una oferta en Nueva York, así que mudé allí inmediatamente. Trabajé en esa empresa durante casi 2 años. Trabajé en esa empresa durante casi 2 años. maybe I should say I loved living and working in New York because there were so many people around me doing interesting work. I loved living. Me encantaba. So this is like encanto when I was talking about Valencia, me encanto. Me encantaba viver. Me encantaba viver in New York. A confusing thing is that it's en New York and not a New York. Me encantaba vivir en New York, Nueva York, because there were people around, there were people from all over the world, porque había de todo el mundo. There were people. Porque había gente de todo el mundo who were working. Me encantaba vivir en Nueva York porque había gente de todo el mundo trabajando en cosas interesantes. So, me encantaba vivir en Nueva York porque había gente de todo el mundo trabajando en cosas interesantes. Me encantaba vivir en Nueva York porque había gente de todo el mundo de todo el mundo trabajando en cosas interesantes. From the beginning. En el proceso de realización del proyecto, aprendí a programar. Al acabar la universidad, recibí lucrativas ofertas de trabajo como ingeniero de software. Como ingeniero de software. acepté una oferta de trabajo en Nueva York, así que mudé allí inmediatamente. Trabajé en esa empresa durante casi 2 años. Me encantaba vivir en Nueva York porque había gente de todo el mundo trabajando en cosas interesantes. Porque había gente de todo el mundo trabajando en cosas interesantes. Okay, now I want to try to record the whole thing from the top. ¿Cómo aprendí a programar y qué pasó después? En la universidad estudié filosofía y física, no informática. No sabía programar en absoluto. Durante mis estudios trabajé en un laboratorio investigando la estructura de las proteínas con microscopios electrónicos. El laboratorio estaba lleno de biólogos, pero necesitaban trabajos de programación. Acepté el reto. Yo pasé un año aprendiendo lo que necesitaba para terminar el proyecto. En el proceso de realización del proyecto aprendí a programar. Al acabar la universidad, recibí lucrativas ofertas de trabajo como ingeniero de software. Acepté una oferta de trabajo en Nueva York. Acepté una oferta de trabajo en Nueva York, así que mudé allí inmediatamente. Trabajé en esa empresa durante casi 2 años. Me encantaba vivir en Nueva York porque había gente de todo el mundo trabajando en cosas interesantes. Alright, en cosas interesantes.
¿Cómo aprendí a programar y qué pasó después? En la universidad estudié filosofía y física, no informática. no sabía programar en absoluto. Durante mis estudios, trabajé en un laboratorio investigando la estructura de las proteínas con microscopios electrónicos. El laboratorio estaba lleno de biólogos, pero necesitaban trabajos de programación. Acepté el reto. Yo pasé un año aprendiendo lo que necesitaba para terminar
Necesitaban
el proyecto.
lo que necesitaba para terminar el proyecto.
En el proceso de realización del proyecto, aprendí a programar. Al acabar la universidad, recibí lucrativas ofertas de trabajo como ingeniero de software. Acepté una oferta de trabajo en Nueva York. Acepté una oferta de trabajo en Nueva York, así que mudé allí inmediatamente. Trabajé en esa empresa durante casi 2 años. Me encantaba vivir en Nueva York porque había gente de todo el mundo trabajando en cosas interesantes.
All right. I got through the whole thing. I didn't see any mistakes. I definitely need to, work through this faster and crisper. It was a bumpy ride to finish it because I'm kind of memorizing what I want to say. I want to get past memorizing the story and more just letting the story flow, but I don't think my vocabulary and grammar is good enough to just freestyle when I get off track yet. But I think down the line, just like telling a story in your native language, you can use different words when you don't have the exact words that you memorized for the story. I'm not there yet, but getting there. Gotta end the stream now and take my kid to school, but see you all tomorrow.